Good morning, students, and welcome to English language class today. It's good to have each of you here with us. And for today's lesson, we'll actually begin by trying to guess the topic. And so we're going to play a game of hangman, and most of you know how this game goes, right? You need to guess the letters that are missing until you're able to correctly guess the word that is there. And once you get the word, you'll also get today's topic. So let's start guessing with these letters. Joshua, yes, which letter do you think needs to be placed in here? An E? Let's see, do we have an E? Yes. Okay, so we have one more letter missing from our word. Is there anyone that would like to try to guess the word at this time? Christine? Sentences. Yes, that is the correct word. Let's give Christine a nice hand. Give her a nice hand. Well done, Christine. And so indeed, today's topic is sentences. But to be more specific, today we'll be looking at the simple sentence. I have this KWL chart here. And this KWL chart asks you to state some information about what you know concerning the simple sentence, what you would like to know about the simple sentence, or what you wonder about it. And then at the end of a class, we're going to look at what you would have learned about the simple sentence. And so I'll give each person 3 sticky notes. What you'll do with the first sticky note is you'll write one thing that you know about the simple sentence. On the second sticky note, what you'll write is what you would like to know about the simple sentence, or what you wonder about it. Alright, and on the third sticky note, you'll keep that, and I'll let you know what to write on that when that time comes. For the persons working online, you can write your information on the job. Students, thank you for submitting some of your work so we can examine it here. And so we see that under the What I Know section, Keisha says that what she knows about the simple sentence is that a simple sentence begins with a capital letter. Tracy also submitted some work under this section, and she says a simple sentence has a subject. That's what she knows. Good. Under the What I Wonder or What I Would Like to Know section, Chetram asks this question. It says, can a simple sentence have more than one subject? Well, we're going to try to answer that in class today. Also, Padmini submitted, and her question is a simple sentence long or short? We're going to try to answer that in class as well today. And so, students, before we move forward, let us take the time to briefly review on what a sentence is before we start examining in detail the simple sentence. So, class, can you tell me what you remember about the sentence? Can you tell me what are some of the characteristics or parts or components of a sentence? Tracy? It must begin with a capital letter. Good. Chandrawati? Must have an end punctuation mark. So, what do you mean by end punctuation mark? Right, a full stop, or a question mark, or an exclamation mark. Let's examine or refresh our minds then on the components of a sentence. So when we think of a sentence generally has 5 parts to it, right? And those 5 parts are as stated on the chart. Somebody mentioned a capital letter, so yes, that is one of the components or parts. Someone mentioned an end mark, correct, so we have it here. But also, a sentence must have a subject, that is who or what the sentence is talking about, and it must have a predicate. Of course, the end mark, full stop, is present there as well. And so now that we would have reviewed what a sentence is, let us continue looking at the simple. So class, now that our memories would have been refreshed on the components of a sentence, I would like for you to access your device and click on the link that is present in the English language group, and it will take you to a video that discusses the components of the simple sentence so that you can know what you must have present in order for a sentence to be a simple sentence. You have 5 minutes. So class, I trust that you enjoyed that video on the components of a simple sentence, and I would just like to ask you some questions to ensure that you understood that video. So can someone please stand and tell me one component of the simple sentence? Yes, Jordan. it must have a subject and a predicate. Thank you for giving me those two. Let's give him a nice hand. Yes, Tracy? It must make complete sense. Very good. See that you're all paying attention to the video indeed. Yes, Kellon. It is also known as a independent clause. Very good. And so indeed, the simple sentence contains a subject and a predicate. It also expresses a complete thought. For example, the boys went to the park. If you notice, this sentence here contains a subject, boys, and it also contains a predicate, went to the park. And when you read it together, the boys went to the park, it expresses a complete thought, or it makes sense. A simple sentence is also called an independent clause. In case you missed it in the video, when we speak of an independent clause, it is a group of words that can stand alone as a sentence. For example, the secret of life is honesty. Here we have a group of words standing by themselves and it makes complete sense. Let's look at another example at the bottom. If you can fake that, notice this is not an independent clause, but instead it is a dependent clause because it could not stand by itself, it does not make sense, and so it could not be a sentence. On the other hand, you've got it made is an independent clause. I have in my hand some simple sentence and some sentence fragment strips. I will be distributing one to each person, and once you would have received it, I would like for you to analyze it, and then when you would have finished analyzing the strip that you would have received, you will come up and place it under either the simple sentence or the sentence fragment column on the T-chart on the whiteboard. For those persons working online, some of these strips would have already been sent to the classroom, so please organize it in the same way I'm asking, but on the Jamboard instead. Students, thank you for placing the cardboards under the respective columns on the T-chart. And so let's examine them to see if indeed these are simple sentences and if indeed those cardboard strips that were placed on this side are sentence fragments, okay? So the first one says, Mohini waited for the train. So is this a simple sentence or a sentence fragment? Well, we can examine it, can't we? Does it have a subject? Yes, subject is Mohini, so we can take there. And what did Mohini do? She waited for the train. And what is that called? Yes, predicate. Does it make sense? Mohini waited for the train? Yes, it does. And so we have on our hands here a simple sentence because why? It has all the components of the simple sentence. Let's look at this one. Brian stood on his tiptoes. Is there a subject? Yes, Brian. Is there a predicate? Yes, stood on his tiptoes. Does it make sense? Yes. Brian stood on his tiptoes does. Yes. And so as we wrap this up, we see that we have 3 simple sentences and 3 sentence fragments. Class, good work on that. Now that we've completed that activity, I would like for you all to organize into groups of 4. For the persons who are working online, some breakout rooms would have been made available for you to do that. So organize into groups of 4, access your devices, and then click on the link that you see present in the English A WhatsApp group. That link will take you to a sentence puzzle activity that you need to complete. When you finish completing that activity, you will continue on with class. You have 5 minutes to do so. You can begin class. I trust that you enjoyed that activity. I see that most of you did really well in organizing those sentences, so good job. What I would like for you to do for me now is to take the final sticky note that I gave to you, and what you'll write on that sticky note is one thing that you would have learned about the simple sentence. After you are finished writing, I would like for a few of you to volunteer and just share what you would have learned with us by coming up and placing your response under the What I Learned section of this KWL chart. Okay? You have 5 minutes to do that. You can go ahead and get working on it now. Students, thank you very much for sharing some of your responses with us. And let's examine these, class, to see what was learned about the simple sentence. Christine says she learned that a simple sentence must make sense. Is that correct? Yes, we said that a simple sentence must make sense or it must express a complete thought. Very good. Then Dave wrote that what he learned is that a simple sentence must have a subject and a predicate. Is that correct, class? Yes, it is. And then here, Padmini shared her response with us again, and she said what she learned is that a simple sentence can be long or short. And I'm glad that you shared this again with us, Padmini, because before she asked the question, is a simple sentence long or short? And now she would have been able to answer her own question. And so, great job so far. I appreciate this. Thank you. So students, with all that we would have learned about the simple sentence, I would like you to take that information and now write a short paragraph describing yourself using 6 simple sentences. And in case you get confused while you are writing or unsure about what to write, I have this cue chart here to direct you and to assist you in writing your 6 simple sentences. So in writing, describing yourself, you're writing out your name, your gender, your age, your ethnicity, whether you are East Indian, Afro-Guyanese, etc., your hobby, something that you like to do, and your favorite color. So we had Jonathan Greaves, who completed his descriptive paragraph and he sent it in online for us to see his response, and so let's examine it. It says, my name is Jonathan Greaves. I am a boy. I am 11 years old. I am an Amerindian. I like to play video games. And finally, he has my favorite color is red. Here we have a submission from Cindy. My name is Cindy Brahmin. I am a girl. I am 12 years old. I am an East Indian. I love cooking. My favorite color is yellow. This is also correct. Students, now that we've come down to the end of our class, I would like for us to have a game of Sentence Jeopardy! Alright then, so here's how this Sentence Jeopardy is going to go. I would like for you to organize into 2 groups. And what you'll do is you can select a category, right? And then you can, team 1, choose. Very good. Now select a category, team 1. Function assumption, great for this. You'll state the function of the underlying word or words in each sentence. Team 2, where would you like to try? Function assumption as well, great. For how many points? 200 points. All right then. Sally reads a book. So what is the function of the word reads in this sentence? Yes, team 2. It is a verb. Good job. 200 points for team 2. All right. Team 1, back to you. Where would you like to try? Which category? You'd like to try punctuation junction? No problem. Notice you need to say which punctuation mark is missing in each sentence. For how many points? 200 points. Let's take a look at it. Are we there yet? Notice the punctuation mark is missing from the end of this sentence. Are we there yet? So which punctuation mark is missing, team 1? An exclamation mark? That is incorrect. You lose 200 points. So now you only have 100. Sorry. Alright, which category? Punctuation junction as well for 300. Alright, let's take a look at it. Today was the best day ever. Notice at the end, there's a punctuation mark missing. So which punctuation mark you think needs to go there? An exclamation mark? Indeed, correct. Ding, 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 ding. Let's give them a nice hand with team 2 women with 400 points. Let's give them a nice hand. Good job, team 2 and team 1. Good try nonetheless. And so students, take all that you would have learned about the simple sentence and put it into practice each day as you write. Take care and have a great day.